Hey there guys, thank you for joining us on another board gaming night. Tonight we're playing Century Spice Road. This is by Plan B Games and designer is Emerson Matsuchi. Tonight I'm playing with Kelty, Dave, and Gary. Hello Gary. So I'm going to give you some of the basic rules and we're going to go through a couple of turns on our own and then we're going to come back with a gameplay turn and we'll show you how the game flows and a couple of intricate rules, if there is any. We'll explain it during the gameplay turn and then we'll come back with who won and what we thought with our verdicts. Alright, so this is a very simple game. On your turn, you have four options basically. On your turn, you can either play a card from your hand. Each person starts with two cards. One is basically an acquire card, which gives you two, is this saffron again? I've got turmeric. So you got four spices, you got turmeric, saffron, cardamom, and cinnamon. The four different colors. So this one allows you to get two saffron, I'm just going to call them yellow. They're yellow cubes. And you can get two yellow cubes. And this one allows you to upgrade any two cubes. So you can upgrade two yellow ones to two red ones, or one yellow one to a red one and then to a green one, is that right? Yeah, so everyone starts with those exact same two cards, and we all start with a little player A board which has 10 spaces in, and you can basically store 10 cubes in there. As I am the first player, so yeah, as donated by the star, which is handed out randomly, each person gets one of these. We all start with a certain amount of cubes. I've got 3 yellow ones, Kelty's got 4, Dave's got 4, and then Gary's got 3 yellows and a red. Which is red's obviously a little more valuable. So on your turn, you can either play one of these two cards. Say on my first turn, say for example, I can generate 2 more cubes, or I can upgrade 2 of the yellow ones that I already have. Or you can take one of these merchant cards. So left hand side is free, and then for each one you want to take. So for example, if I want this card here, I need to take 2 of my cubes and place them on there, like that. Which obviously makes these cards more valuable. But if I just want the first one, I can take this one for free and add it to my hand. They all do roughly the same things. This one exchanges 2 greens to 2 browns. This one generates you 4 yellows. This one changes a brown to a green and 3 yellows, etc, etc. There's more on the side over there, as you can see. And then the other thing you can do is, instead of playing a card, you can take the cards that you've already played from your discard pile back to your hand. So obviously to get your action cards back. And then the last thing you can do is claim a point card. Now this is how the game end will trigger. Once someone has claimed 5 point cards, which are these ones at the top here, and obviously the big numbers are the value of their points. The cubes at the bottom is what you need to spend. So for example, if I want this card, I need to spend 2 yellow and 2 green cubes, and then I'll get to take it, which is worth 8 points. And because it's underneath these coin sections, they give you bonus coins or bonus points. So for example, if I complete this quest and gain those 8 points, I also get one of these coins, which is worth a point at the end of the game.
Yeah, the silvers are worth 1 point, the gold's worth 3. If the gold went out first, the silver then move up. That's about it, really.
Yeah, and that is pretty much the crux of the game. You've pretty much got the whole gist. On your turn, play a card, or take back your cards, or claim a new card for you to play at a later turn, or score some points. And it's pretty much an engine builder. You're trying to draft as many cards as you can to try and generate the resources, to convert them to better resources, to get better points. And that's that. So we're going to start now. We'll play a couple of turns and then come back to you in a few minutes time. Well, for you it'll be a second. And we'll show you how the game flows. Okay, so this is the gameplay turn. We've had quite a few turns already. Just to give you a quick scan of what's happening on the board. I've claimed 1 victory point card, which is the 20.1, and I got a gold coin. Kelty's got the 18.1 and a gold coin, although he very cleverly did that. When I took the 20 point, he waited a turn because he knew that was going to move up, and then got a gold coin instead of a silver coin with that. Dave's got 2 cards with a coin each, gold and silver, 9 and 8. And Gary did a similar thing that Kelty did and just waited for the cards to move up to get a nice big 19 point and a gold coin. So, as you can see, Dave is kind of furthering the game by having 2 cards. If he gets 3 more cards, the game will end. But obviously he's got a lot of low point scoring ones, where the 3 of us have got high point scoring ones. So it's my turn as the first player. Currently I have a yellow and a brown in my store, if you like. And now I've got a full hand of cards as I've rested the turn before this. So I'm going to play one of the cards I picked up, which is just a 4 yellow. So I take 4 yellow out of store and put it into my store. 4 turmeric. And then it goes to Kelty. What are you doing, man?
I'm going to upgrade 2 yellows to 2 reds.
Okay. Dave?
I'm tired, so I'm having the rest.
He's getting all his cards back. Gary?
I'm going to swap 5 yellows for 2 browns.
That's pretty handy.
I could help him, but we just like to watch him struggle.
Alright, then I'm going to change 4 yellows to 2 greens. So the 4 yellows I picked up a turn ago are now going to become 2 greens. And that's my turn done. Kelty?
I'm going to go for 3 reds, which I have it there, and I'm going to change them for 3 greens.
So you have 3 greens, eh? So you need 2 more browns and you can get that 17 pointer.
I'm going to upgrade acquire 2 reds, sorry.
Cool.
I'm just going to rest because I've got no cards.
Boring. Right, I am going to play one of the basic cards, which is a 2 upgrade card. So I can either upgrade 1, or like say these 2 greens to 2 browns, but instead I'm going to make this yellow into a green. So it goes up 1 to a red and then 1 to a green, if that makes sense. So now in my store I have 3 green and a brown. What are you doing, man?
I'm going to play a basic card as well, and I'm going to go for 2 yellows.
You, Dave?
I'm going to swap my 2 red for 3 yellows and a green, which does mean I can no longer acquire without discarding because I'm at full capacity.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get a red and 2 yellows.
Right, so now I've got an interesting decision here. I've got the 3 greens and a brown. Now, these are the 2 cards that I've got in my hand. I can change those 3 greens to 3 browns, which will give me 4 browns. And then, of course, I have the 2 yellow in my card, which is a nice one to get that. That'll set me up nicely to get that. But if I do that, I'm leaving Kelty again to snip at my heels, because this will move up to there, and he will get that because he's got the 3 greens. Which is quite annoying, Kelty. Stop living off me. So instead, I'm just going to play this 2 yellow right now, just to get 2 yellow and stall a bit. See what Kelty's going to do.
Well, I might stall a bit as well, and I might actually just pick up this one.
All right, actually, so just to explain what you did there, he wants that 3rd card. This first one is free, so he's added a cube to each of those to get that one.
These now move up, and a new card is replaced. So 3 reds becoming a green, a yellow and a brown.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? That's a very good question. I am going to play the upgrade card and swap 2 yellows into 2 red.
I'm just going to upgrade a red to a brown cube.
You got quite some good stuff there as well. That means you got 3 browns now. And 2 yellows. Oh! Cheeky. Oh. Which means you'll get that next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest.
Boring.
I know.
I'm going to play the card I just picked up and get 3 yellows.
Okay.
I'm going to have a card. So 2 red, 1 green, 1 brown.
Which is the 12 point at the back.
12 points at the back. And we flip it. And a 4 green, sorry.
He's going for the low value ones.
Yeah, it's interesting because I could have got that one on my turn, but I
will
didn't,
point
I
out,
didn't want
when
to.
we started
Yeah.
the video again, I was enjoying second with you 2 and he was beating us all by 1 point. With my 2 low cards.
I'm just going to buy the one with the gold coin.
Yeah, of course you are.
Indeed.
So if you remember, the gold coins add is it 3 points?
And
the
but they
silver.
are finite.
Yeah.
Once they run out,
Now
they
the
run
cards
out.
might move up.
Now it's back to me again. I've got a full set of cards, and I want that extra brown. Oh, how was I going to do this again? Is there any good cards here? I'm just going to generate 4 yellow, I think. No, I'm just playing to the... You know what? I'm going to change 3 greens to 3 browns. There you go. That's me. What you got, Kelty?
I'm going to put one of my yellows on, and then I'm going to pick up that yellow and take that card.
Replace with 2 greens, 2 a brown and 2 reds. I'm being dull and boring, I'm resting.
Okay. You?
I'm going to go for the free card and I get the 2 cubes as well.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've pretty much seen how the game flows now. We've done about 20 turns there. It goes really quickly, just pings by. And we just keep playing cards until someone has 5 victory point cards, which at the moment it looks like Dave is going for that. So we'll be back at the end of the game. Okie dokie, so we finished off the game. It wasn't that much longer after you saw the gameplay turn. We've tallied up the points, and in last place is Kelty, 53 points.
Yay.
Not too bad, got over 50. In third place is Gary, 58. And then it came down to the wire between me and Dave. Unfortunately, he beat me by 1 point, as I got 61 and he's got 62, thanks to a cheeky little upgrade just before he ended the game. Nice job, Dave. Nice job.
Yeah, because I don't think we mentioned it early on. End of game, any of these spices that we have that aren't yellow are worth 1 victory point. So it got to me being able to buy my last card, and nobody else was in a position, and I had 3 yellow cubes. Nobody was in a position to get cards, so I waited an extra turn to upgrade them into red, bought the card on the next round, and if I hadn't, I'd lost.
And because it's everyone gets equal amount of turns, so only Gary had another turn after Dave ended the round, and I was stuck with 4 yellow cubes in my bank. And I bought only 3 cards, but it was 3 big point scoring cards, and then I got a couple of gold coins to go with it. And Dave's obviously gone for the smaller route, where lots of little cubes, little cards, and then obviously got coins to boost them up. So it works out pretty well then, actually, if you think about it.
Well, when we did the first interruption, you always say like, Dave's only got a couple of things, but because I got coins with them, there was only you who was beating us. We were actually all tied for joint second or joint last, whichever way around you want to point. But you two only had the 1 card.
Yeah. Well, what did you think? You as the winner, Dave. This is Dave's copy of the game, by the way. You picked it up at the Expo, did you, Dave?
I ordered it after Expo. I spent the entire weekend at Expo trying to play it, and by the time I finally played the demo game, nobody had any left because everyone else had bought it.
Where did you get it from? Did you get it from Barney?
Yes, I can't think of what his shop's called, otherwise, insert plug down here.
Yeah, well, even if I say it, I'm probably going to get it wrong.
It's the Board Game Social and...
CCG Board Game and Social?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plug will be here.
Yeah. Alright, what did you think?
I like the game. I played at the Expo. I was surprised how simple the game is. I mean, it is exactly what it says on the tin, or cards in this case. And, there is lots of multiple routes you can do. You can go for the big cards. You can go for the small cards. And there is a little bit of tactics, like what I just did there. When I played it at the Expo, the people who I was playing with were getting a lot farther ahead of me, and I actually won that by quickly tallying up the points around the table and realising if I took 2 more small cards added to what I had, it would end the game quicker and stop them thing, which is exactly what I did then. It's simple. Once everyone's familiar with the game, probably half an hour play, so it's a great little filler game. Maybe it's a little bit longer if you've got people new to it. But yeah. I don't think it's the Splendor Killer that everyone keeps saying it is. It's similar to, but I'll quite happily break out Splendor and play that now.
You own Splendor as well, don't you?
No, these guys own Splendor.
Oh, yeah, and me.
And you, yeah. I'm the only one in the room who doesn't own Splendor.
So how much would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it an 8. It's not a perfect game.
On that filler amount, it's no Civilization or something like that, but on that sort of front, an 8 out of 10 is a good score. So let's get to one of the new guys on the channel.
Oh yeah,
Kelty, what did you think?
Like it. Yeah. I think it's a good game. I like the handy little tubs that come with it. I like the little square things, and I like how quick it takes. It's usually about half hour per game, 20 minutes, half hour. Of course, this game I didn't like because I lost. But normally, it wouldn't last 2 games. But I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as well, because I think it is a good game. It's quick, fun and easy.
What's interesting is I introduced you to Splendor, and you really like Splendor a lot, don't you?
I do. Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
Gary, you like Splendor a
I
lot.
like it a lot, yeah.
And how would you compare this to Splendor?
I think they're two totally different games. To be honest, they're both nice builder games, which work well.
Okay, good enough. And you, Gary, what did you think?
I'd say I like it about the same as Splendor, actually. It's one I'll probably get myself and probably could play quite a lot. It's really simple and you can get new people playing it quite easily, I think.
It's a good intro into gaming for non-gamers, and you can probably play it with family.
How much would you rate it out of 10?
I know it's the same as all the others, but I think 8 as well.
What about you, Jason? Do you want to be radical and rate it different?
Should I go the opposite, 2 out of 10?
Right, walk me home.
No, I think it's an interesting game because it's not really much to look at. I mean, it's just a bunch of cubes and very basic art. The best component in the game are these little bowls. It's not a lot of interaction, which is interesting because it's just literally play a card, go, play a card, go, which is in fact a benefit to the game. There's not that much strategy or tactics to it. It's basically you building your engine. It's interesting, whenever I play this game, I look at a card and I go, right, I want to build an engine towards that card. And then once that card is taken, I'm then right, where I'm going to go from now. I don't know. It's an interesting game. It shouldn't be fun, but it is.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievable. It's like you sit here looking at it and think, well, the art is not that great. Components are average. There's not a lot of play interaction. There's no crazy moments where everyone goes, "Oh, unbelievable!" But yet, I still enjoy it a lot.
It does look better when you have the player mat, which is actually sold separately. And
Yeah, that's a shame. That is.
It even if they inserted a paper copy, it would have looked better. So
like
yeah,
a giant bar mat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is like a giant bar mat with thing. It does improve the look of the game. I actually think the quality of the components is better than needed. I mean, these coins are actually made out of metal. Did we really need plastic balls to hold the things as opposed to a pile on the table? Not really.
I mean, how much is this game's about? 25 quid? Isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't actually paid for it yet.
No.
I haven't seen Barney since he sent it to me because he was sending something to you.
But no, I think it's a very good, solid game. I mean, I really enjoy it a lot. I think it's fun to just sit and build your combos and pump out as much spices as you can. So I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Not love it as much as you three, but I think it's a really good game. It's solid filler, really quick to play. I mean, it's so fast that on your turn, it's boom, 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 done. Next turn, next turn.
No waiting around.
Yeah.
And it is different how you can. I mean, even though the game I haven't played a huge amount, and I think I've only won it twice. One was at the Expo. At the Expo, when I won it, I had gone for a lot more of the bottom cards. This time round, I had a total of 5. I start with 2. And, the Expo, my hands was awash with cards, and I still won. So it's not like keeping a small hand and recycling through them quickly is better. Interestingly enough, the upgrade card, there's only one extra in the deck, and it's upgrade 3.